Nice bright morning for a walk on the North York Moors again. It's actually just below freezing this morning and it feels quite cold at the moment. But I've just left the car at Cod Beck Reservoir car park, just crossing over Sheepwash, little bridge at Sheepwash. A bit of water about after some rain a couple of days ago. It's fairly dry underfoot. Just climbing up the banking on the old Drovers Road. And then when I get to a bit further on, I'll explain a bit more where I'm going. Just briefly before I go any further, that's Sheepwash down there. So I've just walked up there, going up the old Drovers Road towards eventually Square Corner, and then I'll turn left and then left again onto Whorlton Moor, past an old shooting lodge that I've walked before on one of the earlier videos, and eventually come down that bank. There's a track in the middle of it. It'll bring me back down to Sheepwash. So it's a circular walk. I think it's about 7.5, 8 miles. Anyhow, crack on. As I said before, it's a lovely morning at the moment. Just a mile into the walk from the car park up the Drovers Road that you can see there. And if I'd turned right through that gate, that takes you, if you want a nice short walk, takes you down towards Cod Beck Reservoir, and you can get around the reservoir that way. It's the 65 there on the post. This is part of the national cycle route. But I say that's a nice easy short walk. But I'm heading this way, further up the Drovers Road. That I've walked many times before, and probably been in a few videos, I think. I'm now on the road section between the old Drovers Road and Square Corner. And as you can see, there's a glorious view leading off the North York Moors and the Yorkshire Dales in the distance. And the weather is still very nice and cool. Okay, just a little update on where I've got to. I'm still on the public road. Square Corner parking areas behind me, and I'm just heading on the road towards Hornby Village at the moment. But in a few hundred yards I'll turn left, heading on to Snilesworth Moor and Whorlton Moor, which is a walk I did a month or two back when the conditions were rainy and foggy. And then if I spin this round, the hills above there, on top of that, that's Arden Great Moor, where I was walking a couple of weeks ago. I think it was earlier in March, maybe late February, when I did a loop around Arden Great Moor from the parking area that I've passed. But as you can see, it's weather's still very nice. Bit of a breeze, but it's nice and cool for walking. So I say I'm just going to turn left in a few hundred yards, just before where those trees are, or a bit before where they are, and then I'll be heading across the moorland in that sort of direction. So I just turned off the road that's behind me onto Snilesworth Moor, heading to Whorlton Moor. I noticed the heather that is normally around the pond seems to have been cut back here for some reason. Not sure why. I've not seen that being done before. Anyway, crack on a bit now. Just heading towards Whorlton Shooting House, or Shooting Lodge as it's sometimes called. You can see some hang gliders, I think, in the distance, probably way above Carlton Bank. Too far for the camera at the moment. Yeah, I think there's 2 hang gliders maybe, just tiny dots in the distance. Far too far away to see on this camera at the moment. See if I can pick them up with a long lens when I get nearer. But when I get to the shooting lodge, I say sometimes it's called Whorlton Shooting Lodge and sometimes Swainby, I'm not sure which is the correct one. When I get to there, I'll stop for a regular cup of tea or flask of tea and a quick snack, and then I'll turn to the left of the lodge and head back down towards back down towards the car at Cod Beck. But I'll be very lucky with the weather, because it was forecast to cloud over. It is a bit cloudier now, but still pretty good. Dry underfoot for once, or mainly dry. A quick stop at the shooting lodge for a few sips of tea and a quick snack. I'm now just going to head on back to Cod Beck and to the car, which is, if I spin you around, that's where I've come from. And then I'm heading in that direction. Just see the track in the middle, there's some people on it in the distance. It's clouded over a bit now and getting quite chilly, so rather than putting another layer on, I'll get moving and get warmed up again and catch up with you in a while. But for now, get the old backpack on and get cracking. Nice view of the Cleveland Hills in the sunshine ahead. I can still see 2 hang gliders, I think, just above the peak there. Probably too small for the camera to pick up. And then Teesside and the northeast coast ahead. As you can probably see, the track bends slightly to the left shortly, and then I just continue this all the way down to it rises up a bit and then drops down to Cod Beck Reservoir eventually. I think I've got about 2 miles to go, probably done 6 or so now, maybe a bit less than that. Almost back at the car now. Car park is just ahead, I think, where you can maybe see those vehicles, including an ice cream van that I have tested before for research purposes only, of course, but I will try and resist today. But all in all, a really nice walk. I haven't done that one for a while, and the weather's been largely very good, apart from a bit of cloud for a short while. But a nice walk, and hope you found that one interesting. If you do fancy it any time, it's about 7.5 miles, I think. If I remember, I'll put it on screen. And my rucksack seems to be squeaking for some reason, so if you do hear any squeaks, it's not my knees, it's the rucksack, honest. But that's all for now, and look forward to the next walk. Hope you enjoyed that one, and bye for now.